The palm grove of Buya has so far been spared. But everywhere else in the region, the departure of men and the young generations is causing a chain reaction. The lack of workforce leads to lack of maintenance in the kataras, which in turn leads to lack of water for irrigation. In 2001, a report predicted the disappearance of half the kataras in just a few decades. In the palm groves, a growing number of farmers today consider the kataras to be archaic and their upkeep too difficult. They're being progressively replaced by individual motorized systems for water collection, power-driven pumps. The solar power systems can run 24 hours a day, pumping directly from the phreatic zone. With the arrival of these pumps, Tafilalt has seen a surge in artificial palm groves in the middle of desert areas. Studies are categoric. Intensive use of pumping is emptying the phreatic zone.
There are eggs, it's beautiful. There's pollen, there's honey.
Adil is one of the farmers who hasn't left the oasis for the big city. As water became rarer, he had to find a means of subsistence less linked to the climate. He stayed in his village of Tadigust and relaunched the beekeeping activity which he inherited from his father. Adil raises the Yellow Saharan bee.
The advantage is that the yellow bee can work in the Sahara, because that's where it comes from. It's a worker. The difference with other bees is its long proboscis. This allows it to gather pollen from the deep flowers of the desert. The proboscis is essentially for that. And it doesn't sting much compared to other bees.
Adil is worried. A bird is circling near to his bees.
Look, it's a bee eater.
It's a Merops apiaster, or European bee eater. They migrate in the autumn to spend the winter in Africa. Their arrival sometimes coincides with the crops coming into flower. Adil is vigilant because, as its name suggests, these birds principally eat bees. They can kill as many as 200 a day to feed their young. Adil can't do much more than frighten the birds off in attempts to save his bees. The European bee eater is a protected species. Fortunately, in a few days, the beekeeper will be moving his hives. He does this regularly, depending upon what is flowering in the palm groves. This is the technique of transhumance of bees. It means that Adil can produce honey from carobs, almonds, rosemary or lavender, depending on the season. It's a new technique for Tafilalt. Until now, beekeepers like Adil's father raised bees in wall hives, which meant transhumance was out of the question. Adil has kept one such hive. Twice a year, he removes the frames from the hive by breaking part of the wall.
You place your ear against the wall. If you hear the bees buzzing, that means they're working. You hear the queen when she's going to make them leave. These are the guardians. For the harvest, you smoke the doorway to make them leave. This is necessary to collect the honey. The guardians can't sting you because their bellies are full. You have to leave them their share to get them through the winter. I started with my father. I followed him everywhere, and it was a hobby for me. Little by little, it became a source of income, too. When you work and you can see the results, it's satisfying. And you also earn your living.
Adil was able to develop this family business largely thanks to the PMV, the Green Morocco scheme, which the government set up in 2006 to slow the rural exodus. Adil is encouraged in his small business development with training in agricultural salons to promote and sell his honey. This Green Morocco scheme focuses upon the species best adapted to life in arid environments. The species which receives most support from the Moroccan government is one which is endemic to Tafilalt, demand sheep. The government gives the breeder 500 dirham for each birth. During festivals, Adil can sell each sheep for 5 times this. Demand sheep only live in enclosures. They're too nervous and fearful to be out on pasture land.
Demand breed quickly and have good litters, 2 to 4 lambs per sheep. They can live in dry areas like the Sahara. They need to be closely watched and be well kept and fed.
When it comes to feeding his sheep, Adil gives them what he produces himself: alfalfa, barley, and even crushed date seeds. It's simple food and totally local, coming from plots of the palm grove which his parents passed on to him.
My ancestors were nomads. They were always breeders. They lived in the mountains where they found water. Nomads can't live without water. Then they settled down. They created the kataras. They began farming the land. They didn't live from breeding alone, but also from agriculture. They grew barley and other forage. This is necessary for breeding, and they became sedentary.
With his Yellow Saharan bees and demand sheep, Adil demonstrates the resilience of the Oasian population. He shows that a different economy is possible, despite the lack of water and the capricious climate.